Hello everybody. Today we're going to learn to give a reading assessment. This particular assessment will cover section 2 of the curriculum. There will be a link in the description of this video where you'll be able to print out these sheets to use on your own. You want to give the child a weekly or even daily assessment if you prefer, to keep up with where they're at, what they have learned, and what they need to learn. Sometimes you'll find that a child will know something one day and then forget it the next day. So if you want to give a daily assessment, then you'll see there's a box for each day of the week. So if they if they know something one day and then they forget something the next day, then you'll know that you need to go back and work on it some more before they have it set in stone. So let's look at our first page here. They're starting out learning their letter sounds. So you want to go through each one. So if this is Monday, for this first section would be Monday, you would go through and point at the letter and ask the child, what sound does it make? So if they say B without any problem, you put a check in the box for Monday. They knew the B sound without help. D, F, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, R, S, T, V, W, and Z. And then you get down here, you have the letters that have more than one sound. So inside of the box it shows, like C for example, has the K and the S sound. So if the child gets the K sound, you put a check under the K, and if they get the S sound, you put a check in the S box. And with a G, if they get the G sound, you put a check in the G box. If they get the J sound, you put a check in the J box. And this is all for Monday. Same thing with X has two sounds, X, Z, A, E, I, O, U. Both have two sounds. The long sound A, the short sound A. So if they get the long sound but not the short sound, you only put the check in the long sound box. Or if they get the short sound and not the long sound, you only put the check in the short sound box. If they get them both, you check them both. If they don't get either, you don't put a check in either one. And then you go down to Y. Y has three sounds. So you've got Y, I, and E. Only check the sounds that they know without help. If they act like they're unsure, then don't put a check. And then you'll go over here to the digraphs. So you have Qu. If they say Qu without any problem, put a check in the box. Th, Sh, Ch, Wh, F, G, and K. So if they get it without any problem, put a check in the box. And once again, that's the Monday box, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If they know Ch on Monday, but they forget it on Tuesday, they don't get a check on Tuesday, and you know that they still need to work on the Ch sound. Then you've got your glued sounds. Ing, ang, ung, ink, ank, unk, onk, all, old, olt, ol, ost, ild, and eind. So they only get a check if they know the sound. And then next you want to look at their sight words. These are all high frequency words. Now you've got regular high frequency sight words and you've got irregular high frequency sight words. So the regular ones you can actually sound out normally like you would any other word, but the irregular ones do not sound out easily for different reasons. But you just want to check and you point at the word, and if they say in with no problem, then it gets a check. If they don't know the word, it doesn't get a check. And you just go down the list, check off the ones that they get without any help, and do not check the ones that they don't get or that they seem unsure about. And you can just do that daily, weekly, however you feel like you want to assess them, and just keep doing it until they are comfortable with all of these words. And then your final sheet covers the reading rules. So this one, for example, is a reading rule, the open and close rule. If a vowel is left open, it makes its long sound, and if it's closed, it makes it short sound. So if they know that rule, you put a check on the box. Same thing with the letter C. Whether it's an E-I or Y next to the C, it makes this sound, this reading rule. And then you have, that's also known as the kiss the cat rule. It's part of the kiss the cat rule. The other part of the kiss the cat rule is a reading rule. So you've got the K sound is spelt with a K if followed by an E-I or Y. So that's the spelling part of the kiss the cat rule, and that's the reading part of the kiss the cat rule. So if they know each one, you put a check. If they don't understand that, you don't put a check. You just work with them more on that until they understand that completely, and then they get a check. So those are all your rules: crybaby, catch lunch, dodge, huge jumping giraffe. It's split also between reading and spelling rules. So then you've got, you want to check off each one of these that they're able to do. Can they segment words into individual sounds? If you say the word cat, can they break that down into k, a, t on their own? If they can, put a check mark. Can they read and spell CVC words? Can you say bat and they spell it B-A-T? If bat is on a paper, can they say it? Can they read it? If they can, put a check. Can they swap out beginning, middle, and end sounds in CVC words? So if you put the word bat on a paper, can they tell you whether the B sound is at the front, the middle, or the beginning, and swap B for K to change bat to cat? Or can they change bat to bit? Can they change tap to top? Can they change map to mad? So can they change out all three of those parts to make different words? If they can, you check the box. Can they blend consonant letter sounds together? So if they have a word like black, B and L are two consonants next to each other, so that's a blend. Can they say black? Or do they have trouble putting the B and the L together? Do they go b-ul-ack, and can't blend to say black? If they can't, you don't want to put a check there. But if they can say black or slip or drip, putting the D and R together, for example, then they can blend consonant letters together. You want to put a check there. Can they read and spell CCVC words, CVCC? These are consonant, consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, consonant, 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 vowel, consonant, and consonant, consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant. So you've got a lot of blends in there, whether you have blending consonants on the front or on the back of the word. Can they do all those blends with no problem? If they can, you put a check here. If they're still struggling with it, you do not put a check. Do they know what a syllable is and how to split it? So, do they understand that hot dog, for example, is two syllables? Hot dog. And do they know that hot is the first syllable and dog is the second syllable. If they are comfortable with that and they know how to split multi-syllable words, then you put a check. If they cannot, then you do not put a check. So by the end of all this, if they have got checks on everything, all 3 sheets, and they don't struggle with any of that, then they should be able to read this story by themselves without issue. So the story is, and this story uses words with all of the different rules and things. So I told my dog Fred to fetch a stick, but he jumps in the mud pit with a skunk. Yuck! You stink, Fred. I said to my dad, catch that filthy dog. I am going to wash him. I put him in the tub and get the scrub brush. He wants a ball, so I toss one in the tub, but he could dodge it. It lands with a splash and I got wet. All the mud drips off Fred into the tub and he jumps on me. I told Fred, I'm glad you smell fresh so I can hug you. I love my dog. So that story has a mixture of sight words, normal sounding CVC words, words with blends in the front and in the end, words with digraphs, and words with glued sounds. So if they can do that, then they are completely good with the second level of the reading program. It's not a race. You let the child go at their own speed, whatever's comfortable for them. By the time you get to the end of this and they check all these off, depending on the program that you're using, if you're in school, should be approximately a end of kindergarten level. Most of your schools that are going to use a systematic phonics program, such as UFly, for example, but every school isn't the same, and it really depends on the reading program that you're using. And if you're homeschooling, you could be at any level, really. There's not a specific spot that you're going to say, well, that's the end of kindergarten, that's beginning first grade. But on average, following the school system, if they are using a phonics program, this should land you about the end of kindergarten. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this and have fun reading and spelling, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.